this is Genshin Impact for those who don't know. I know this is different from my usual HSR, Christian content, or whatever you watch me for. If you don't watch me, that is. But someone just asked me, I don't really know them, but I'm willing to do it, to showcase Yelan if I have her, and yes, I do have her. I do have her skin as well, because I spent a little bit of money on it. Her build isn't anything great per se. So they asked to showcase Yelan to see like how to use her and all of that. But Yelan's actually and whether they should pull her. So in this day and age of 2025, is Yelan still usable? Should you still pull her? She is on the banner right now, which is something I'm doing. Now my Yelan is Z0, and she's on Skyward Heart with a very bad set on, but it's just the stats that I'm caring more about. A Crown Burst and a level 9 skill. I do not have enough Mora because I'm trying to build Flints right now. But she has a decent... she's okay lah. I'll run through things with my Yelan really quickly. And this is a pretty good piece though. But that one's not the best. It's just whatever I had left over. Now, I've had Yelan since a long time ago, I think. But my account has a lot of C2, C1 characters. So yeah. Navia C1, Zhongli C1, she's C1, she's C1 R1. She's going to be C1 after I get her from the thing. She's C2, he's C2, she's C2, wait no, she's C1, my bad. She's also C1. So those are all the characters I've caught for. But today I will be showcasing Yelan and talking about her. So for Yelan, I usually use her as a sub-DPS slave for Arlecchino, but
an insurmountable problem, I presume.
If you don't have Arlecchino, if you don't have Citlali per se, use her
anytime, any place.
And for vaporized reactions, Tao also works for more vaporize.
Is it time for me to join you?
She's very versatile. Even Navia for
the speed is on the case.
Works. Nouvellette works for more hydro application, but Farina's just better in case you don't have Farina. And Skirk obviously would love her.
Need something taken care of.
Yelan. A lot of characters can use Yelan, like even Laurent, Lauma, Flins. A lot of characters could use Yelan, so that's a really good thing about her. She's very versatile. But the thing that separates her from Xingqiu is doing more damage.
Chivalry,
but they both aren't that different. Yelan only does more damage. So if you're trying to clear content like the Stygian Onslaught here, like the Stygian Onslaught, you're trying to clear the Spiral Abyss, which I also cannot clear properly. You're trying to clear the Imaginarium Theater. Then if you need the extra time, I would say you go for Yelan, but if you are free to play, I would say if you have Xingqiu C4, there's not really much difference between the two. Yelan only does just a little bit more damage, but Xingqiu is capable of that as well. But if you really like Yelan, just go for it, you know. If you like Yelan, go for it. No one's stopping you. Okay, now let's talk about some teams you can use her in after those. She can also be played as a main DPS. Like in this Sword of Team, which I've tried before, she managed to hit 83,000 damage.
Sounds good to me.
On her supports build, she hit 43,000 damage. Her support build is on Sacrificial instead because the extra energy is always great. With the extra, it's less crit, so she won't do as much damage, but she also does, she gets her burst more often. This is her support build if you're trying to build her as a hydro application slave for other characters. But I love Yelan a lot, so we're gonna put her on here. While I talk, I'm just going to showcase her real quick on how to use Yelan in such teams. So let's go bully a Pyro Reg is fine. Now you only want to use her normal attacks if you only want to use these bow normal attacks if you are in her burst state. But even if you are in her burst state, you would want to switch off to like your main DPS of the team. Like for example, I don't know, weirdo, like C6 Rina. You want to use her as a DPS. She will be the sub DPS of the team. Her dice will do hydro application on her burst. So you prioritize. You have to prioritize ER on her. But if you're not going for a burst DPS, I mean just a DPS, main DPS in general, Yelan, do not stay on field for that long. It's okay. So as a main DPS Yelan, I'll show you her capabilities. After this, we're going into... That did not happen. That did not happen. Okay, anyways, her skill can hit some good damage here. Oh, I have no burst.
Get to work.
Okay, that's fine. We'll do this, break this, get her
Let the world collide.
we have to make sure they don't die.
my night.
And Yelan can hit a pretty good 47k here because in my defense, I don't really have a great one, but in my defense, she can hit pretty good damage actually. It's a matter of how you build her. So my Yelan isn't the greatest, like I've mentioned multiple times, but let's just say you're using your Arlecchino in a team, Cappuccino. It's like this team, for example, but don't use Frina here because Frina synergizes terribly with Arlecchino. Instead, use like a Kazuha or something. My main Arlecchino team, though, is using Kazuha and Bennett. But Yelan is great in case you don't have Kazuha. In case you don't have Yelan, you can use Yelan here. So, showcasing a team would be something like this.
You want me on your team?
Not to mention, Yelan's also a great pickup for new players because she does insane amounts of damage early on. She carry a lot of people through the early games. And she's still relevant these days. Yeah. But something Yelan has that's unique is that she does, for a Hydro support, she only does application. She does not do much. She does a lot of sub DPS damage with good application. But she's not that...
Things are about to get dicey.
Okay,
Good
it's fine.
point
It's fine.
now.
It's fine. She can hear this guy. Okay?
Teamwork
And
is
then,
dreamwork.
even with this guy's sister, she can just... Our Arlecchino does this damage. Oh god. Ignore the fact that she's C2. That's quite bad. Her burst wore off, but in better fight, she does a lot of damage, and she can do pretty well in Abyss and Stygian. Hell, maybe even consider bringing her to like the easier levels, like hard. Not if you bring her to like hard difficulty in Imaginarium Theater, she can even be used as your main DPS, saving some slots for other characters later on. But I would say Yelan's a solid pickup in 2025. So if you want Yelan, just go for her. It doesn't matter about meta. She's okay to pick up, but if you already have like Xingqiu or something, you don't really need her. If you have Furina, Xingqiu, you don't need her. But she's great for like Hu Tao as well. A lot of characters she can work with. But that's the same situation with Xingqiu. It's just that she does a little bit more damage, and yeah. Alright, let's move on to the next subject that this guy wants to talk about. Back on topic, Swirl is an animal thing. You take note that it's Swirl's other elements, but take note it does not work with GEO characters, and and some and Dendro characters, because these two you can only swirl other elements like hydro, pyro, cryo, and you cannot swirl animal either. You cannot swirl animal either. So in a random team, let's just grab whoever we have.
What is the situation?
Let's just grab a random team of characters to
It's
showcase
time to
Swirl.
pull the trigger.
So Swirl
This world
is
is full
triggered
of
when animal meets other enemies. Okay, let's go to mini boss. I'll just try to find some enemies out there. Okay, so Swirl is required when you have. Okay, so for example.
Take it easy.
I can't. Okay. For example, you find just some hilichurls out in the wild. I want hilichurls, not lolichurls. Okay, anyways, you find some hilichurls out in the wild. These hilichurls, you can just use your Yelan skill or whoever skill. Remember, it only works on swirlable elements like hydro. I already covered this just now. It only works on those elements specifically. Swirl is better in a multi-target team, and to use the benefit of Swirl, you want to use you know how on floor 11 there are always like these tower defense things on the first chamber? Well, Swirl, that's why you always want to bring like a Swirl animal character there, because Swirl does very well with those characters. So let's just bring this team to the abyss real quick, and I will show you case what teams, whatever. Just put whoever here. We'll just bring any elements like Electro, Dendro. I will show you Dendro cannot be applied to this guy. Hydro and Dendro or Geo. None of those elements. Dendro cannot be applied. So animal cannot be swirled either. That swirl damage will only count towards the
Shine down. Gotcha.
So it's like this, and then you can swirl. Now don't pay attention to the animal damage there. Pay attention to the electro damage.
There is no
because
escape.
that is the element that's being swirled. Let's try again. Oh wait, I think I got the wrong abyss. Okay, anyways, it's fine, it's fine. I just need to showcase stuff. So you see here, I leave them away. Leave one away. Leave one away real quick. See? Come here, come here, come here. I apply electro to you, and then I bring you over here. See, now this guy also gets electro, but you need to pay attention to the. Don't pay attention to the animal damage. Pay attention to the electro damage here that is being driven over to those guys. Now, if I apply hydro to you, pay attention to the electro damage. Don't pay attention to the animal damage that is being given away. That is the swirl damage.
Busted.
That's the swirl damage.
What's one?
But you can see here, if I'm going
I see everything.
this, ouch. If I'm just going to do this, try to apply Dendro to this guy, it does not swirl, and it remains as animal because you cannot swirl Dendro. You can only swirl elements like hydro and electro, and a lot of pyro.
Inazuma shines eternal.
Okay, so you do that, then this guy comes here. Oh my god. Okay, I'm just gonna bring Zhongli to make sure I don't die. No way, I have another element. Okay, cryo will also work. Alright, so swirl damage is better in multi-target because it will spread the damage just evenly. Okay, let's think of bulbs, like bulbs in parallel, right? Bulbs in parallel. Think about that. if one bulb fuses in the circuit, the other bulb will still light up. But
Now you shall perish.
because they have separate waves,
Shine down.
so let's say I decided to apply some hydro, but the electro is stronger, so it will end up swirling the electro. Because there's more electro applied than the hydro. Now let's swirl some. Let's put some cryo.
Show no
on
mercy. You two.
with the same electro we got from just now. Let's see which element. It swirls cryo because more cryo is being applied, and the electro has worn off.
Cheap shots.
Lali, your fuel is weaker.
Lolling.
So if you do like this and you do this, the swirling damage will take on the power of only one of these elements.
Time to go.
You cannot swirl both of them. But if the enemy has their own vision and their own damage output, like that guy is using pyro, right? If you're trying to override it with hydro, you're going to you're going to swirl pyro because their pyro is stronger than Yelan's just one Yelan skill, because the hydro is not comparable to the pyro that's on both of these guys.
Get to work.
So, summary. So in the summary of this,
Clouds high.
if you are going to play the swirl reaction,
To oblivion.
then you have to make sure
Shine
that
down.
you have you cannot have a Dendro character in the team.
Fulfill.
A Dendro or Geo character will not work in the team.
Go.
You only need specific elements. You cannot use Dendro, you cannot use Geo. I don't know why about okay, you cannot use Dendro, you cannot use Geo, and you cannot use those elements and just try to use your swirl reaction. If you're going to use your swirl reaction, you should do it on a side with a lot of enemies, because that's what swirl specializes in. Swirl pulls all the enemies together so that you can dish out just an equal amount of damage. Right, back to the light bulb.
There is no escape.
So, if you see on the light bulbs, there's an equal amount of electric current that flows through it. An equal amount of the electric current flowing through it, so that each one gets an equal amount of brightness. For bulbs in parallel, of course. And it's the same thing as swirl reactions. If you just attack,
Illusion shattered.
you will also get the swirl reactions. It will be even because it cannot be higher damage on one enemy and lower on the other. Though I'm not the best guide, you should come for guides, but I'm just saying, this is just because someone asked me to. I did this tutorial. But if you guys do want to see more Genshin Impact, then I'm fine. I can post Genshin Impact content. I have a lot of content I could post. And one of those would probably be just showcasing my account overall with a lot of characters. And I should also probably showcase my C1 Marika account. It started in Natlan. And I have her best team except for Lali, so I need to get Lina in place. So if you're one person who asked me to do this, I hope whoever stayed until here, I hope that you enjoyed today's video. I will probably post more because of that one positive comment that really lifted my mood up this morning. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.